Hey guys, today I'm going to do a video discussing housebreaking and what to expect from your new puppy when it comes to housebreaking. When you bring a puppy home at first, you got to realize how short and small their bladder is and the time that they consume food till the time it takes for them to go outside and use the bathroom. The best thing you can do is control their intake, control their water, feed at a regular time. I think a lot of people have a tendency to expect a puppy to hold it for an hour, 30, 45 minutes. In reality, it's about 10 minutes. You know, at 6-week, 8-week range, you're looking at about 10 minutes, even for your large breed puppies. Your smaller breeds, your Chihuahuas, your Toy Fox Terriers, Pugs, things of that sort, it's really quick. I mean, their bladders are tiny. I wouldn't ask more out of a puppy than I would ask out of a little kid. You know, don't expect them to do something that a little kid can't even do. They are a dog at the end of the day. What you can do is just monitor the food, feed at the same time every day. That's what I try to do. I try to feed small amounts. I feed 3 times a day. Water, I let them have water, I control it. You know, if they're outside and they're running and playing, of course I will, give them a little extra water. But I like to watch it, then I like to watch them go to the restroom. And I make going outside fun. I don't get upset about little mistakes. They're gonna happen. Even your smartest breeds, it's like your child. If you don't have kids, ask your parents. You know, when you were little or when your kids were little, they start playing and they'll completely forget, hey, I need to go to the bathroom, until they can't even walk another step, and it's right then and there. And one of the worst things you can do is yell at that puppy. What are you doing? And just blurt out and scare that puppy while it's using the restroom. If I see a puppy using the restroom on the floor accidentally, I will pick it up in midstream, whatever, and take it to the door, and we'll just have to clean that up and get it outside, and then try to make that outside experience a positive one and let them know, hey, this is where we go. I don't have a lot of mistakes, but what I do, like I stated previously, I watch it, I monitor it. I take them outside, whether they want to go or don't need to go. I just take them outside every 15 to 20 minutes when they're puppies, even if it's just for a couple minutes, to see, hey, do you need to go to the bathroom? And when they go, I praise them and tell them how great they are. Just like people, everybody loves to hear how great they are. Dogs can hear it in your voice. They may not understand the words, of course, but they know you're excited for them and you're happy. Communicating with your dog is paramount. I can't tell you how important it is to a successful relationship. Just like an adult relationship or adolescent relationship, we both want to compliment each other and make each other feel good about themselves. Don't pick up from where your grandfather left off, or stick their nose in it. That's not accomplishing anything. And just be realistic in your goals. Know that mistakes are going to happen. And if you watch closely, a lot of them may be at, your own fault, that you just weren't watching closely and you didn't keep up with the time. With phones we have these days, just put an alarm on your phone, puppy outside alarm, and get it out the door. I believe in crate training. That helps a lot as well. It helps the puppy learn how to, control a little bit more and relax. But if you'll monitor the food, monitor the water, regularly just take them outdoors regardless if they need to go or not. Set your puppy alarm. These little things will help you be successful in housebreaking your pet. I want to talk about something briefly. I'm going to get into a little bit more, but when you're introducing a new puppy to a home where you have older dogs or large dogs, or a single dog that's a little possessive, you need to take great care in doing this. The biggest aspect of this is knowing the dog that you're introducing it to. It's not really the puppy that's going to do any harm. It's the older dog. And I had a friend recently that, had this situation occur with somebody that they sold a puppy to, and, the puppy got hurt really bad and it's still recovering, and, it will never have the life it could have had. And this is just due to, owner ignorance, and there's no real excuse for this. If you have a dog that is real possessive, he's not quite matured, he's just a large breed that's still a big puppy, accidents can happen. But what really is dangerous when an adult dog doesn't know how to communicate. And I've had these dogs. They've been some great dogs, but they were not for any other dog. They did not care if it was a puppy, an old dog, a small dog, a big dog, a green dog. If that dog came around them, it was going to be a dog fight. And again, some of the best dogs I've had, they just were like some people. They do not care for any other dog. You need to know this and be aware of this going into it. Like I just brought home 2 Malinois recently. They were 3 months old, or 10 weeks old, Malinois puppies. And I have a 90-pound pit bull here that we rescued years ago. But I know that my pit bull is not dog aggressive. He's very confident in himself. He doesn't have any issues that make me concerned. So when I came in, I just turned my puppies loose. They're puppies. He is so confident that I know he's just, if anything, he'll respond with a growl to leave me alone. Now I'm going to go back and touch on the other dogs I've had. I had a border collie that was extremely dog aggressive. And like I said, it didn't matter if it's a puppy or not. Some situations you can't fix. There's some situations that it's not going to be safe. But you have to know this going in. You have to know what you're dealing with. If you're not dealing with a dog that is confident and that kind of work around this, don't put that puppy in the situation without having some kind of serious control over the other dog. Don't worry about controlling the puppy. Control the large breed dog or the larger dog. That dog should only respond with a growl, maybe a snap at worst case scenario. Case in point here, we have a border collie. The two Malinois puppies I brought in, they're brother and sister. They are, Godzilla and King Kong. They're wide open. And, they run on the border collie and jump on him. And he's 2 years old, so he doesn't really know what to do. He's never experienced this. He growled once, he might have snapped, but I knew I had so much control over him, even if he did get out of hand, I could stop it like that. If you don't have that type of control, look into getting a professional to help you do this. The story I was telling you about just a second ago, my friend, this other dog picked it up and shook it so hard that it's permanent damage to its front legs. I mean, it's a puppy that can't stand up correctly or walk correctly. It's ridiculous that somebody would do that, but sometimes we don't know, so we make mistakes and we learn from it. And I'm just trying to stop that from happening. One of the best things you can do is be there in the middle of that. Slowly introduce that puppy to that other dog. That if you're not quite sure and you don't want to go out and bring in some professional help to help you with this situation, be vigilant, be ready, be on top of it, intervene, read body language, look for the little signs. Dogs just don't pop. There are signs. It may only be in the eyes. It may be a tense of a back leg or a tail, but you got to be on top of that. You got to be vigilant, especially when you bring a new puppy in. I mean, the ramifications are, it could be death. I mean, we don't know. But if you will watch it closely, be there, communicate verbally. Do not let this male dog or female dog, the larger dog, take over this situation. Don't let them run this. And if you're not the alpha of your pack, or if you don't, if your dog kind of runs your house and you don't run your dog, you got bigger problems, but you need to work on that. And really, I don't think you need to be introducing a puppy at that point if you can't control the dog you have. All of my dogs I can control with a couple words and they will stop. I mean, even the dog I told you about that didn't like any dog, when he would get in a dog fight, because one of my dogs would maybe get over there to him or something, because he wouldn't even walk up to another dog. The dog would have to come to him, and most of my dogs knew just to leave him alone, and it wouldn't be any issues. But every now and then, you get that one that says, let me go back and try the situation. And of course, I was working several dogs in training at the time, so I had a large, pack. And they would engage him. I could stop it, and they'd break it up. But I had that kind of control. If you don't, and you're putting a puppy in this situation, again, you should get some professional help if you don't feel comfortable. Especially when you consider the amount of money you may pay for the puppy these days, the fact that it's going to change this puppy's life, and you look at somebody with just like this situation, a ton of medical bills. I mean, and special care. It's a special needs dog now. It needs that special attention. And, canines really aren't built for that. I mean, they can make it. They're extremely tough and resilient, but is that what we want to do? Because we decided not to get some help, or we really didn't know what we were doing, and, we don't want to make those kind of decisions for a puppy for the rest of its life. So I just suggest, knowing what you're doing, knowing that you're in charge of your dog, knowing that your dog will respond to you, or knowing that it won't, knowing that you're not in charge of your dog, knowing that you need some help, and being big enough and adult enough to say, hey, I need somebody to come in and supervise this situation. Case in point, my sister has a pit bull that she rescued off the streets here in Memphis. She called me and she said, hey, I found a foster home that wants this dog. They have another dog. It's a large dog, and, I'm a little concerned. Well, like I stated earlier, I have a large pit bull that I had rescued years ago, very confident. I said, bring her over here. She said, are you sure? I said, yeah, bring her over here, we'll see. I went outside, I met the dog, spent a little time with it, and I could quickly determine that she, if anything, she would probably just give up. And I knew my dog would not approach her that way. Brought her in, perfect. No problems. Brought her in the house. He's standing there in the living room, very intimidating looking, but he welcomed her in, sniffed, and before you know it, there he took off running, and they were bouncing around. It's just knowing the situation. I think it also helps when the dogs know somebody's in charge. Your dogs can pick up on it. If nobody's in charge, you will watch your dog will take charge. They lead or follow. There's no middle ground. There's not kinda. They either lead or follow, and you better lead them. You don't want to be following a dog because the view never changes, if you know what I mean. So hopefully this helps some people. You get what I say. I'll elaborate on this a little more, but I just wanted to touch on it. You know, I'm close to the situation. It bothers me. It's a little hurtful. It makes me sad. I mean, when I see the pictures and talk to the people, I know that I know it was painful for them to go through it. You know, the breeder took the dog back, was able to find a great home for it, and you know they're extremely. I don't think you probably could find a better home for that dog from what I've seen so far. So, but just, you know, be aware of your situation. Be aware of, you know, your strengths and your weaknesses. If you're not a good handler, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't get another puppy. I'm just saying go about it the correct way. And the opposite side of this, you know, if you bring a large breed puppy into a home, my wife has a 3.5-pound Chihuahua named Rico, who thinks he is a monster, but really he's a 3.5-pound Chihuahua named Rico. You know, and just like my Malinois puppies, they really haven't met him yet. They're wide open. They're very hands-on. You know, they want to put their feet on, and that's fine with me. I kind of like them like that because of what I'm going to do with them training later. I really don't want to curve things in them, but I know how Rico will respond. He thinks he can bite his way out of it because I've established all these other dogs here kind of underneath him for his own protection. The large pit bull I mentioned earlier, you know, he goes outside last. He's the last one to get fed. He's the last one to get a treat. He's the last one for everything because I put him on the bottom of my pack. I don't want him at the top correcting anybody up under him. So worst case scenario, if somebody starts correcting around here, it's Rico, the 3.5-pound Chihuahua, who can't break skin on your finger, really, to be honest with you, if he tries. But he thinks he's at the top. I mean, when you're 3.5 pounds and you're hanging out with a 90-pound pit bull, you don't want to be on the bottom of that situation, so we don't put him in that. So he does feel secure and confident and strong because we make him feel that way. My pit, he doesn't feel weak because I put him in that position. He still is confident and strong because that's in him. So it's just understanding the dog breed and then also understanding that particular dog. You know, a lot of people think pits are strong and this. I've seen pits that are just weak in the mind as any other breed. So don't, you know, it's understanding the dog like you have to understand people. But with the Chihuahua, you know, if I put the Malinois puppies around them, there's no doubt in my mind they're going to hurt him. Yeah, I can get down and scoop him up, but he is so little and frail. All they have to do is pounce on him one time, and you're talking about maybe a broken rib or something. He is my wife's dog. He stays in her arms. He's your typical little lap dog Chihuahua. So I don't even put him in the situation. It's not neat. And as I get through, you know, training my puppies, I know that I will have the control where they won't even engage a little later. I know it's not a dog aggression issue. I have other little dogs, and I'm not worried about them with them at all. It's just Rico is so small. So again, it's just being, you know, kind of aware of your surroundings, I guess you could say, and knowing what's happening with all your dogs and the mindset. And introducing any puppy to a home, there's a lot of other things we could go into, but when you're talking about another dog, never walk in and, here's your brother. He doesn't look at him as his brother. He's an intruder. You know, he picks up his favorite toy. He grabs his bowl. He walks to his water bowl. That other dog could lash out so quick, as in the case I mentioned before with the puppy that got hurt. Instantly. Everything was fine until it wasn't fine anymore. So just be aware, be vigilant. Think about the long-term effects of your actions. If you don't do it correctly, it could be, you know, very dangerous to the puppy and, you know, the cost and everything associated with it. And then, you know, I'm sure it's not something you want to be part of. So again, just take those things into consideration. Hope this helps somebody. Like I said, I'll probably elaborate on that a little bit more later. I just wanted to put this on here and go from there. Hey, you guys keep it moving and have a great day. Thanks.